Hello, we are live and we are recording, and Miss Gracie, my kitty catty here, she's right by me. I wish you could see. Someday soon we'll have more cameras and all that. She wants to be part of the Oracle. And that's because the person that helped me find her is here. This is great. I love it. She's very, very happy. With the weather and different things, I know people have been craving and calling me and sending me messages about the Oracle, craving the Oracle, I guess, right? Yeah. And it's been interesting because if you've been reading what I've been writing on Facebook and different places, different posts, things are happening so fast that it's hard to even speak it. There's so many things that will happen in one moment that are unbelievable or so. There's just not words for it, okay? Just all I can tell you is we are at rocket speed now. There's not the momentum of present time is here. We are actualizing present time. And you won't know if you're moving, if energy is moving toward you or you're moving toward it, because it's just converged. We're at that point where everything is switched on. Everything, all rockets are fired up, and we have taken off. We are soaring, people. If people keep talking about the ascension, keep talking about this, and I've talked for a long time that people are either going to be ascending up or descending down. So if you are finding yourself right now in hell, keep on going, because you don't need to be there. Keep on moving through it. And that's the tricky part of the lower mind. I've looked back on some things recently, just even in the last few days, last few weeks, last few minutes, last few hours, where I thought, oh, this dude feels really, and I go, no, it doesn't feel bad at all. It's not really hell. It's another layer of something, and if I breathe and let go of the fear and let go of what my conscious mind had expected, then it all changes. And this is why when we talk about babies, we talk about children, we talk about animals being in present time, unless they've been abused or molested or had trauma, they don't think, gee, I wonder what's going to happen next. Or I wonder if I do this, is my hand going to get burned now? Or I wonder, they don't think, what's going to happen? Am I going to be able to eat in 5 hours? Am I going to have enough money to do this? Because they're just present. And again, as all the scriptures say, except you become a child, you cannot enter the kingdom. And what the scriptures are talking about, it's that child state. When you're in that innocent, open, loving, both brains there's not a left brain, right brain thing going on in Europe, in that when the eye is single. Again, the Gnostic Gospels talk about this. Except the eye becomes single, you cannot enter the kingdom. Talking about getting up out of that reptilian brain stem or being trapped there and staying in that innocence of a child or an animal that is pure and just emanating love. There's no expectation of dark energy, or there's nothing that's happening that's saying, I've got to put a guard up, I've got to be fearful, I have to have a reaction to something. When we fall into a place of action-reaction, that's karma. Karma is for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Dharma is whatever you're doing, it's done. It's effortless. It's effortless, and you're all experiencing these states. And what the addiction has been, we're so used to, it's this, it's that, it's bad, it's good. We're so used to the addictive aspect of the extremes. And if you're real tired of being on the ride, and you're real tired, and I tell you what, I've been exhausted in many ways, but exhausted and exhilarated all at the same time. And when you feel like you can't go on, and you feel, even if it's good stuff, you're just overwhelmed, just open to receive, because there's so much electrical magnetic energy flowing. All you need to do is get rid of the illusion that you're not part of it. It's a revolution, folks. It's here. We're in the revolution. evolution, revolution, all the stuff that was planned many, many, many eons ago, and all the things I went through in the 60s and 70s with the peace movement and with all kinds of, hippie consciousness and things. Whatever this is right now, it is what I was hoping was going to be happening back then and wasn't. So it's here. But what's intense about it, if you for a second slip back into fear, you'll either want to control or be controlled. People talk a lot about how fear and control are the same thing, and how people that are fear-based are controlling. No. That's true. But there's another side of the coin because of the duality of fear. People who want to be controlled are also fear-based. And there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that where you don't even know that you have made yourself a victim, or you don't even know that you think you're powerful, you think you're in touch with your power, but you're not, because you allow all the passive-aggressive behaviors. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm sure you all have been experiencing this because it's rampant. The passive-aggressive, if I ever hear that word again, I'm going to throw up. Or I don't want to experience it anymore. I get it, and I want all of you to think about it and just move through it your own selves. Passive-aggressive behavior equals sorrow, equals suffering, equals redos like you cannot imagine. I mean, overwhelming, not good stuff. But we've all been programmed. We've been programmed to be passive-aggressive. We've been programmed from the time you're born to not do this or not do that, or put on a different face, or to not be real. And that's why they always say out of the mouths of babes, but a lot of times babes open their mouth and parents get freaked out because they're telling the truth. And we shut kids down. Go to school, we get shut down. You go to religion, you get shut down. Children, no. Babies, no. The innocence and the purity of animals is amazing, and that's why people feel so drawn to that unconditional love. So I'm telling you right now, really pay attention to what is pushing your buttons. And it's gotten so intense for me that I can't even, there's no thought process. I have allowed myself to just feel, and I went through a couple of months here where I felt like a raw nerve. And I mean, I really got a little concerned because I thought everything's on my nerves. Okay, this isn't good. Everything's driving me crazy. I'm driving myself crazy. It was just like this raw nerve that I can't even explain to you, but I know that you're all going through it, because when you come out of hiding, and even if you didn't know you were hiding, and the facades are being stripped away and being stripped away and they're being stripped away, and you think, how could there be anything else to strip away? And then it comes along. And I'm talking about stripping away the ego too. I'm not talking about, there's so many layers and levels and different things that we're going through that it's hard to even, you can't put labels on it. So I stopped. I realized that when I was trying to explain it to people, and I was trying to, I was falling down into my lower brain. So I decided to go, you know what, I'm a raw nerve. Okay, who cares? I'm going to accept it. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to stay in my lower brain. So that's what, whoa, yes, whoa, Gracie. Here's Grace. Gracie, and you couldn't see this, but she dive-bombed me. Oh my God. Well, it's probably the, is there an ad or something that came up?
There we go.
Somehow it's some.
You're good now.
We're good now. Gracie. Okay. Woo! She brought some. She going, I testify. She's testifying over here. She's like, that was really interesting. Woo! And that's what I'm talking about. You don't know when you're going to get dive-bombed by a cat. You just got to go, that's pretty cool. You don't know what's going to be happening. And I'm going to tell you right now, when you stay in a centered place where that's not a centered place in your negative ego, we all have there's a positive ego. We have to have our ego. We were made in the image of Creator, and there's nothing wrong with the word ego. the individuated self is what Jung would call it. We're all made in the image of Creator, but we are individuated. We have a unique, if every snowflake, if every raindrop, every robin, every sparrow, everything is not like the other, how much more we are individuals, how much more we are created. And we were given free will and co-creation abilities. And through fear and domination and being pushed down into lower frequency, the illusion of the matrix, the illusion of 3D reality, we fell into that fear-based place that we were evil, we were born in sin, we were pushed out of the garden, we weren't worthy, God didn't love us, we were separate from ourselves, separate from others, and we had to spend our lives suffering and repenting. And it's all a bunch of crap, basically. So it's time to wake up from this stuff, because it's not real. It's real in the way it will kill you. That's when death came. In the original garden state, it's eternal spring. Nothing dies for something to live, because there's no beginning or end. The circle's not broken. There's only sending and receiving. That's what prayer and meditation, when you're in a constant state of sending and receiving. When spiritual truth, spiritual actualization happens, I mean, Jesus was a Jew. Jesus wasn't a Christian. He didn't come to find Christianity. Different things. It's not just Buddha. He didn't come to say, hey, I want to form Buddhism. They all said, you can do all that I've done and more. And there were many great saints and masters that were women. You just didn't hear about it because of different things. So we're living in this amazing time of all things hidden being exposed. You know, there's all this America Unearthed, which I've known about lies and forbidden archaeology since I was a teenager. I knew, you know, I would love history, but then they would tell things I would think, that's just a lie. That's just wrong. There's something wrong with these people. You know, we're in a time that things that have been twisted for mind control or for subjective reality, it's not happening anymore. So there's lots and lots of stuff happening. There's lots of stuff changing, shifting very, very, very fast. Very fast. Are we having technical difficulties?
I was going to get centered on you. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not, because it's, well.
Yeah, look again.
Well, I can't because it's not really centered. That's better.
There's that.
That's better. Thank you. Yes, I have spatial organizational lack of or something. I'm just, okay, good, thank you. It's just perfect. Okay, good. And it's just like what's going on right now. When you first put something on a scale to weigh it, it goes like this before it comes to a still point. When you come into the place of balance, there's the still point. Karma is this. You're constantly action, reaction, action, reaction, action, reaction. Dharma is be still and know. Get out of that wheel of drama, of trauma, of learning through like a hamster on a wheel, just repeating things when you don't need to. Become the dot. Let the wheel turn. That big wheel's always going to be turning out there, but you don't have to be on that ride. You can stay right here. And one of the things we're going to do tonight, I want you just to start right this minute to feel yourself like a magnet. To know that in many ways, not in a narcissistic sense, but in many ways you are the center of your universe. You are the Lord of your creation. You have free will. You have co-creative abilities. Let's switch them on. I want you just to feel and know that amid all of the crazy, wild things that are happening in the outer world, all the things you hear about, all the turmoil, the rumors of war and wars, and the just massive amount of upheaval, that out of chaos comes order. And all that going on out there, it's a mirror for the collective consciousness. But in your own world, I want you just to go within right now. I want you to be still and know. It's safe to let go of the past. It's safe to let go of shame, guilt, fear. It's safe to surrender to the unconditional love. It's safe to let the pain go. We've all gotten addicted to pain and to covering the pain. Again, that's the scale, that's the action reaction, and it's a real addiction in itself. People have actually gotten addicted to the up and down of I'm suffering, I don't feel good, I'm going to have a lot to drink, I'm going to smoke a joint, I'm going to work a lot, I'm going to eat a lot, whatever it was. It's not working anymore because you can't do it anymore. You can't do the ride anymore, up and down and up and down. Get off the ride. I want you to feel what a huge, beautiful being of light that you are. We are giant beings of light. Our body temple, our beautiful radiant body temple holds a tremendous amount of energy, but it's a tiny part of this huge energy field that is you. You as an energy light being, you go out 40, 50, 60, 100, who knows how many feet. I just want you to imagine that you're this huge, beautiful, glowing, radiant light being. You're luminescent. There's purple and green and gold and yellow and colors you can't even describe with the earthly eyes. Constantly moving and swirling through your being. We also get trapped in the idea of there's this chakra, there's that chakra, there's this, there's that. Chakra means a wheel of light, and I want you to know, in accordance with each person's free will and highest good, we want to activate those wheels of light. We want to be off of the wheel of karma. Come into your own world, your own inner realm, and in accordance with each person's free will and highest good, we ask for the highest good to come into manifested form. We ask for an activation of the original divine blueprint. And we ask for the wheels, the chakra wheels, to totally start spinning the way they're meant to spin, but only in a way that's right for each individual according to their free will and highest good. And we ask for that to integrate. We don't want this to be an experience that's overwhelming or activates things in an unbalanced way. So I want you to, instead of going through the chakras and different things we normally go through, you're ready for this. You're just this huge, big, glowing energy ball. You're the covering. There's so many vehicles. We're going to concentrate on, again, in a grounded, rooted way. And again, always remember, the great mystery, we are of heaven and we are of earth. We're like walking trees. We are Kabbalah. Our body is the tree of life. But we are part of one big being of consciousness. The universe is one huge being of light, and we are all cells in that body. We are a microcosm of the macrocosm. So in this moment, I want you to feel good. I want you to feel joy. I want you to feel peace. I want you to feel happiness. Let go of the burdens. Let go of this pain, the suffering, the heavy, the need to suffer. We ask Spirit tonight to go deep into our DNA, deep into where it's been programmed in that we're supposed to suffer, that we're supposed to not have joy, not have things. You were created out of the amazing love of the Divine Mother, Divine Father. We are products of a union of love. And you are so loved, and you are so needed on this earth at this time. I want you to feel safe and know how loved and secure you are. We ask all pictures of death to be turned into pictures of life, all pictures of fear to be transmuted into pictures of unconditional love and truth. And when you feel, I want you just to feel this huge, like I said, this electrical energy is just moving through every cell of your body. And this magnetic energy is, they're interacting together. It's the Divine Mother, Divine Father, the magnetic, the electrical, creating new life, new cells within your whole being, not just your physical body temple, but in the new creation, in the big energy field that you are. It's safe to remember the wholeness. It's safe to experience the oneness. And when you feel yourself and you feel this alive energy, it's not a raw nerve after all. It's you coming to life and feeling and knowing you're alive. And it can feel scary at first because we've been taught to dummy ourselves down. We've been taught to shut down. We've been taught to go inward, not a good way, but to push our real thoughts, our real feelings, the real creative expression inward. And what happens when we do that? It becomes destructive. When we stay in a place of conditional love, it leads to hatred. I want you to feel you're just this, like I said, this beautiful being. Imagine, at first it may feel like you're using your imagination. That's fine. Imagine that you are this. You are this glowing, amazing being. So many of you think that what you see sometimes are your guides and masters or angels. It's you. Yes, do some guides and masters and things and guardian angels and archangels, of course. But they're not here to be worshipped. They're not here to any of the things that people do with this. It's a separation. Know that much of what you perceive to be something that's separate isn't. It's you. It's me. It's all of us in this divine state. I want you to feel the wholeness and the vastness of the universe, but how in a safe place. It's not a scary place. It's not a bad place. It's not a far-off place. It's right here. When we got trapped again down into that illusion of separation from self, others, and spirit, everything felt foreign, different. And that's when we start to judge. If it's not like me, it must be bad. Or if I'm not like that, I must be bad. Or all kinds of wild thinking that has nothing to do with the wholeness and the oneness. I want you to just feel this magnetic being, this activation of the electrical magnetic field within every cell of your being, every cell of your body. And instead of attracting what's familiar, be willing to let go of that. In this moment, it's safe to attract only your highest good. It's safe to attract what's best for your divine blueprint. It's safe to surrender the lower mind, the lower concepts of what used to make you happy or what could make you happy, or what you think you need to be happy. In this moment, let it go. Do not limit how you can attract your highest good. Do not limit how God can bring to you what you need. The lower mind gets in the way. It's good to visualize. It's good to have ideas. It's good to dream. It's good to have vision boards. It's good to have all of this. But at the end of the day, So many people that are good at this level of that, they miss a certain thing. They get focused. It has to be this way. It has to be this thing. It has to be this person. It has to be, and they're missing out on the great blessings and the great abundance, the great amazing energy that's just for you. That's where jealousy and competition come from. You don't have to be jealous or competitive with anybody else. You just have you. Your stuff will come to you. Their stuff is theirs. Your stuff is yours. And there's an abundance for everybody. I want you to feel, again, just feel the safety of being a large being of light that is no longer attracting what's familiar. As your bodies are filling with light, feel the healing, soothing. It's like a balm. It's like you're being anointed. There's an anointing going on of Holy Spirit right now, everywhere in this world. And it feels like a fiery seraphim flame to some people. It's really a cold flame. It's only going to burn you if you resist. Let it burn off the dross. Let this powerful Holy Spirit aspect of creator energy come in. It's what's happening anyway. Surrender to it. Let it burn away the dross. Let it burn away what is putrid, what is dead, what is no longer life-giving. Let it burn away the things that are bringing sorrow, the attachments that are bringing you sorrow, the pain, the memories, the things from so many places and times of suffering. Let it go. You were not created to be on this earth to suffer. There's so many souls here right now back on this earth. That's why there's a huge population boom. Everybody's here at this time because there's a massive healing. And you have to remember, it wasn't that long ago. We've just come out of a very dark age on this earth. There have been so many amazing times and things happening on this earth, far greater than what we think of as evolved civilizations that we live in now. We've just come out of times of inquisition and hundreds of years of people being murdered, mass sacrifices of people of the light. Most of the women that were murdered, not just during the Inquisition, but through so many eras, and they weren't that long ago, were midwives. They were herbologists. They were wealthy landowners. They were matriarchal lineages, and they were systematically killed. I want you to feel and let go of that pain. We are now in the age, and there were many times when there was matriarchal rulership where women dominated and they did very cruel things to men. So this is not about we're in the age of the goddess is going to win and blah, blah, blah. No. We're in the age of the king and the queen in joint rulership. The double-headed eagle, the double-headed phoenix, one body, two heads. They have their own crown and they have a joint crown. And many of the rulers, many of the bloodlines in Europe have various variations of this image. The Masonic Lodge uses it. But what it really means, it's about, we are not in the age of male or female dominance. We are in the age of Aquarius. It's an androgynous figure. It's the union of the male-female. And I'm going to tell you, if you want peace in the outer world, you got to make peace in you. You've got to go within. And it's very important to make peace with your inner male. The inner psyche of a male is female, the inner psyche of a female is male, the anima and the animus. Do inner work. It's very important not to project out and think all men are like this, or all women are like that, or all relationships are like this. That dualistic, blaming, victim energy can no longer be. The key for outer peace in this world is each individual. And it doesn't take everybody. It takes a few righteous people. It takes a few people actualizing. You can't read the books, watch the movies, get the t-shirt. You got to do it. You got to do it. And I'm yelling at myself. You got to do it. It's not. These are not concepts. These are no longer things that you take a class for, or you do this or you do that. We're doing it. So I'm telling you, any discomfort you're feeling is because you are still resisting through fear what's happening. We're already in it. The earth is being bathed with light. You are being cleansed of the illusion of separation, and it feels uncomfortable because you've been programmed to not think for yourself. Been programmed to deny what you know is the truth. Been programmed in so many ways to be in a false way of being. So that now that there is no linear time, now that that illusion is shattered, people are scrambling because it's very unfamiliar territory at first. But I'm going to tell you, the more you surrender to just being, everything you need, everything that's right for you, you don't have to go out and search for it. You don't. When you are in this state of wholeness, oneness, bathed in unconditional love, working from within to heal enmity between yourself and others, yourself and yourself. A house divided can't stand. A house divided can't stand, folks. It can't. It's talking about from within. If you have a schism, we all have them. We all have fragmentation. Anytime that you were not in your truth and not in your power, you fragment. That's the story of the prodigal sons. We've all been prodigal sons and daughters. We thought it was so much better out there, so we left home. We left home. We left our father and mother's mansion, and we went out. And we did crazy things. We had fun. We did this. We did that. But in many ways, with our lower mind, lower ego, and that's not all a bad thing. It's something that we wanted to experience. This was an experiment down here of joining spirit and matter. And you used your free will, and you used your creations, the way to create. But what's happened, you're now looking at the seeds that you've sown. And they're not like you did horrible things, bad things, but you're seeing what you as the Lord of your creation created. You're seeing the wonderful things, but you're also seeing, maybe I planted too much of something over here, okay? Maybe I didn't weed my garden, and so I wasn't tending my garden. And I think a lot of people are surprised at what's coming up. If you plant corn, you get corn. If you plant wheat, you get wheat. We're in a physical level. It can't be any other way. And it's not about then going, wow, that's not me. It is you. It is me. It's all of our responsibility to deal with it. If you don't like your life right now, you just better get on it and do some stuff. Don't wait for somebody else to do it for you. Don't wait for pie in the sky. Don't wait for somebody else to save you. It is time for the true path of Tantra. And Tantra means union. When you become your own mother, father, brother, sister, lover, savior, whatever archetype that's out there that you are looking for, you have that capacity. We're made that way. If we are made in the image of Creator, we are made with all that wholeness. Now, what happens when you no longer need something out there? Codependence goes away. And that's what's happening to a lot of people. You may have not even known it, been in friendships, relationships, marriages, work relationships, and all of a sudden you don't like much of what it is. And a lot of people are going, man, these people really changed. And I'm having the same experience. And no, they didn't change. You just see it. They didn't change. They're who they always were. And you're who you always were. But if you're working on yourself, you're not trapped in a group consciousness that's not of the light. You just keep moving. You keep moving. And then the fear sets in and you think, well, maybe I'm wrong. Or maybe it's just got to keep working through it. There are times when it's not about hurting people or not hurting people. This is the biggest hook. We think, I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I don't want to do this. When you have an open-hearted compassion, a radiant, open-hearted compassion, you will always do the right thing. If you feel sorry for someone or something, you have a hook. You're feeling sorry for a part of yourself, a victim part of yourself, and you will end up being victimized. Because there's many times that to help someone in the way our lower mind is thinking to help, we're not helping them. We're enabling. Mm-hmm. So you're going to become very aware of any amount of the enabling, and it's not working. You're going to find that I've had some experiences recently where and it's not that anything bad happened with anybody or a group or where I was putting energy. I just had no desire to even talk to certain people or even pick up the phone or to go places I used to go. I mean, I don't even mean like about, it's just not there. And it's like a horse when you take the blinders off. All of a sudden there's this amazing other stuff going on out here. And it's exciting. It's overwhelming too, because it's like, it's not really new territory, but it feels like new territory. You know, when I was a little kid, I would always get this image because I was one of those kids that I always felt really big and I always pretended, well, now I know I wasn't pretending, but I would always live up in the ceiling. I always would put our whole living room or my bedroom or whatever. I was always up in the ceiling and watching. But it took me a long time to tie my shoes. Long time. I had training wheels on my bike longer than anybody. So it really wasn't down on my body. I was hanging out other places. I'd get written up, and who gets written up in the first and second grade, put in the hallway for daydreaming, and I loved it. I thought, perfect. That would be daydreaming out here. I never went down into certain things. I remember my birth, where I was before. I didn't know in those terms what it was, but I just kind of didn't totally land down here. And the image I keep getting now, and that's for all of us, it's like, we go through these stages of codependence and feeling needy, and it's like having training wheels on a bike, and all of a sudden you realize you don't need those, and all of a sudden you don't need a bike, and all of a sudden you're going to notice you don't need lots of stuff you thought you needed. Lots of stuff's just going to go away. You may find yourself walking out on whole houses full of furniture. I've been there and done that, and there's somebody sitting right here who has done that. We all know these. We've been there, I've done it. I have literally walked away from things. Literally. And it wasn't in anger, it wasn't in anything, it was done. Some things are done, and sometimes you cut. And it's painful, it's weird, but there's a point where, and a lot of you are going through this. I know so many people that had no intentions of moving or going or doing something that are gone. It's gone. They're there. Yep. And it's wild. I've had people in for readings and they thought I was totally insane, and they'll call me a week or two later and go, I'm so sorry, I thought you were crazy. Everything you told me is happening. How did you know? Why is it happening now? It's because we're in now. And you came here. If you want to enter into this center of peace, we're cutting your cords. This is not, I'm not going to sit here. I don't read your tarot. I don't do this. I'm not going to coddle you. I'm not going to be, you're not, if you come in here, I've been in this for 44 years. It is about, you are ready to actualize your life. I don't want you to depend on me to tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm going to help you disconnect so you know what's going to happen, because it's your life. And you can make your life what you need and want it to be, but you've got to let go of the control and the fear and being illusion that you're being controlled, and it's very intense because it's hard to describe. Because I'll tell you, I've always talked about my work and my life as experiential. People want these concrete things about, okay, what is this, what is this, what is it? It's not like that. We're all individual. And so how Spirit works with us and how Spirit teaches us is individual. God comes to people in so many forms. Holy Spirit knocks at that door in so many ways to get you to understand and to experience. But it's experiential. It's not about reading books. It's not about memorizing things. It's not about going through intensive this or that. It's in you. The Lamb's Book of Life, the Akashic Records, and the big thing, people say, this person reads Akashic. You are a living vibratory record. That's all that the Lamb's Book of Life in the Bible is talking about, or what the Akashic Record, the Akasha. It is everything we think, feel, say, and do goes out into a rate of frequency. There's not some little Santa's elves or angels going, this was bad, this was good, we're keeping score. You are your judge, you are your jury, and everything that you're doing is recorded. It's perfect. There's nobody that's doing that but you. So this is how you work with that. The more you get into that unconditional love, guess what happens? The shame, the guilt, the fear, the things you thought were so bad and so evil and so dark and so that you could never be forgiven, they go away. They transmute. And you don't do them anymore. They only sin. You know what the word sin means? Missing the mark. It's what the word sin means, is when you've missed the mark. And so what happens when we miss the mark? We keep shooting the arrow, we keep shooting the arrow, and keep hoping we're going to hit the mark, right? That's karma. When you put the bow down and you relax and you go into the Dharma, there's no arrow, there's no place to hit, there's no separation. You're it. And it's one of the hardest things for us all to understand. Even people that understand and study these things and know these things, it's very, if you're trying to deal with it in your lower mind, it will just mess with you. Because that's what the lower mind does. It messes with you. The lower mind will go, it's like the good angel and the bad angel. It's all there's so many stories and so many cultures about those two selves. But when you know that you are the judge and jury, when you know that you have the responsibility, but that in a moment and a twinkling of an eye, you can change it. That's the beauty. How do miracles happen? It's when you are totally present. When there's no separation. When you are in your life, in your being, and all of you is conscious, you can do anything. That's when the wonderful thing, that's when you wake up and you have those moments where, everything flows. It's not just getting the parking spot. I love those too. Those are good when you get the parking spot. You know what I'm talking about. But all kinds of other stuff. It's effortless. It flows. It's amazing. But I'm here to tell you, some of the things that are happening right now, you might encounter things that on the surface don't look like they're amazing. They may look like they're like blocks or dark or evil or blah, blah. Yeah, you know what? That stuff's real, but you know what you do with that? You don't react to it. You move through it. Embrace evil. When Jesus said, and Buddha said it as well, embrace evil. People freaked out. They're going, what the heck are they talking about? Why would we embrace evil? It neutralizes it. It's just like martial arts, when you polarize, you give it energy. When you become one with what you're doing and one with what's coming at you, there's no opposition. It's just done. It's a done deal. What the lower mind will always can trap you in is thinking that you're separate, thinking that this is this and this is that, and judging. There's a difference between judging and discerning. One of the gifts of Holy Spirit is discernment, discerning. Because I get that thrown at me all the time. Well, well, isn't that just mean that you don't want to do this, or you think blah, 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 or no. If it's like Spirit says to me all the time, freight train's coming, get off the track. You don't have to stand there and get run over. And so if you're by some situations that you know that their people are psychic vampires, they're draining, it doesn't feel good, you don't have to be there. You can have a conscious choice that says, I'm not doing it. No thanks. And people are going to, yes, yeah, it's like the Bob Dylan song. They'll stone you they'll stone you anyway, anything you're doing, they'll stone you. That's the group consciousness wants to stone anybody that's different. Yep, that's what happens. And I would not feel so all alone. Everybody must get stoned. That's not just about smoking dope. I haven't done that in a million years. It's about a higher state of consciousness. But when you're in that group, negative group energy, and somebody else is doing something different than you, we want to judge it. We want to control it. We want to kill it. We want to, and I've had a lot of people say, well, you really believe that the dark forces exist? Well, hell yeah. Really? Oh, it's only if you believe in it. If you don't believe, and this is a really strange New Age thought. If you don't, it's like that cancel. Or if you don't believe in it, then it can happen to you. And I say, I'm not Jesus, but look what they did to Jesus. Look what they did to lots of beautiful people that were on this earth. That's exactly what happened. So, what I'm going to tell you, again, it's not against flesh and blood we battle. It's against powers and principalities. And they have been loosed on this earth. We are in a full-fledged energy shifting. And I'm telling you, even the darkest of the angels that fell, even the most veiled, because that's what really the word evil is. It's when something is hidden. It's when something is veiled. When that light goes into every cell of creation, and it will, there will be total shifting. But we are in that process. Don't hold yourself back from your process. The more you can, this is the way you can heal the world and that you can bring peace into the world. You actualize it in you. It's not about good works alone. By their fruit you shall know them. It's not about telling everybody what you're doing this, doing that. It's how you live your life. It's how you treat everybody. It's how you treat people with unconditional love. But you can't love your neighbor any better than you love yourself. So it's about loving yourself unconditionally. And we're so taught not to do that. We're so taught that that's selfish somehow, or that's whatever, that we're supposed to suffer. No. No. So, in this amazing thing that's happening, I'm telling you, this is when it's not a blind faith I'm asking you to have when I'm talking about things. I'm not talking about a blind faith. I'm talking about a knowing faith. There's a difference. When your eye is singular and you're like an innocent child and you feel and know the wholeness and the goodness, and you choose to do your inner work and to heal the conflicts, heal the things that you've built up. Because we've all been taught to harden our hearts. You may not think you've hardened your heart. but we think it's what we're supposed to do to protect ourselves, and it's the worst thing you can do. It's the worst thing you can do. It's to harden your heart, because you're only hurting yourself. You're only cutting your own nose off to spite yourself. When people go through relationships and somebody disappoints us or somebody hurts us or we feel abandoned or we feel betrayed, and most of what's happening right now, understand, people, that everything that's happening right now is the tip of the iceberg of deeper levels of where those things, where you've had those experiences. So the wounds are deep. So pay attention to what's pushing your buttons. Don't focus on the person. Don't focus on the situation. Go back to point of conception. Go back to point of origin. Where did I go off the mark? Where did it start? Where in my journey did I believe that I wasn't loved, or that I could only be loved if somebody validated me? Where did I go? Where did I abandon myself? Where in my family patterning? Why am I subconsciously attracting people that were like my mother or my father or this or that? And it's deeper than that. It's past life. It's this. It's archetypical. And I'll tell you a big one that's come up for most people. We have the positive archetypes. Well, there's the other archetypes. There's a saboteur. And it's a big one for people, especially people that are very much of the light and going to a certain height. We sabotage. We will, every day of the week, find something to how we sabotage. We'll start to get our happiness, our fulfillment, our joy. And then that saboteur comes out. Heal that saboteur. Go deep. Find out where it came from. Where did you go out? Where? Heal your fragmentation. The more you are healed within and whole from within, you will attract that wholeness to you. You'll attract people that want to learn, want to grow, that are working on themselves. The more you stay fragmented, needy, hurt, what do you think you're going to keep attracting? The same people, the same situation. They might look different, different form, different thing, but at the end of the day, it's going to be the same result. Let your heart be pierced. There's major things going on right now where people are feeling so betrayed and so abandoned. And you know what? Yes, we've all had that. And it's horrible. It's the feelings of betrayal, abandonment, not being felt, heard, seen, understood. It's a human condition. But it's not the one we're supposed to be staying in. But it's activated so we don't have to stay there anymore. So we don't falsely dwell in that delusion that we are forsaken, that we are abandoned, that there's no hope, that there's only the suffering. It's not real. It's only real if you keep giving it energy. It's only real if you keep blaming yourself, shaming yourself, or blaming others, or staying. And it's okay to get mad. You know, people are really angry right now. It's okay to yell and scream. You don't want to be doing it at other people, or, you know, whatever. But I have these outbursts. I feel like I have Tourette's, but it's not swearing. All of a sudden, I just be like, rah! You know, just like, woo! And then it's gone. But if I don't do the then I don't feel good, and I feel then it goes down another level. So if you feel these big urges to do primal screaming, do it. I mean, don't get yourself locked up because I think you're nuts. But do it discreetly in the privacy of your own home. I mean, you know. But I'm telling you, you're going to have. Because in this healing, in this cleansing, in this purging, it is like that. You won't even know where all of a sudden you'll feel. I have had moments of just unconditional love pouring, so that all I could do was cry, and then tears of joy. It wasn't tears of sadness. I've had weeping I've gone through that was so much sorrow, but when it was done, it was done. I've had, like I said, I felt just this stuff come up, and when I yell or scream, again, not at a person or thing, but just let it move out of my body. In the moment I'm feeling it, it's done. I don't feel it anymore. It's when we deny it, we repress it, we lie about it, we lie to ourselves about it. It's what dis-ease is. The last stop is the body. I can't do it anymore. I won't do it anymore. And I speak up, and I've always kind of spoken up. I'm really speaking up, or I don't speak, and I just don't put myself in circumstances where I know people won't hear it or can't hear it, don't want to hear it. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. And you'll know, you'll have a discernment. Those who have ears to hear, those who have eyes to see, will hear and feel and see you and get what's going on. And if people persist in staying in a fear-based place and they can't, sometimes it's because they can't. And it's hard for us to understand because we want everybody, this is the most common thing that I think and people think every day. Well, I wouldn't do that. Well, yeah, but they would. They do. Or I just want this person to apologize to me, or I just want this thing to, they're not going to because they don't have the capacity. Don't stand around waiting for one. Apologize to yourself.
Yep.
Forgive yourself. Then it won't matter what they're doing or not doing. And the other piece of that is, we talk about this a lot, but you can do work with people there are people where there's absolutely, whatever reason, they will not hear, or you don't feel safe to speak your truth, or you, for whatever reason, there's a separation, and we don't have the right to interfere with somebody else's free will and highest good. So you say, if it's in accordance with my free will and highest good and this other person's free will and highest good, I want to talk to them. You get quiet and you can say it out loud, you can say it in your heart, mind, and spirit, and you don't have a filter. You don't judge what you're going to let out as bad or good. You say the truth, you feel your truth, you get your story out, you get whatever it is, you don't take it through the brain that wants to go, well, I better edit this because I might hurt their feelings, or just the opposite. If I do say this stuff, they're going to be really mad because I'm just going to tell them off. Get all that crap out of your head. Just say it. Then see them like a little child, like a little baby. Forgive them. Another huge thing. It's like they say, if you see the guru in the road, kill him. Kill rolls off around you. As long as you think about yourself as a child or a mother or a father or a brother or a sister, or as long as you have any kind of role expectation. It happens so much in families. We think of ourselves as this and we think about them as that. It limits how we can interact with our loved ones, because we're all people. Just because somebody gave birth to you doesn't mean they're capable of being this idealized person you want them to be. You get to the point where you have to be your own mother and father and all that within. And what's amazing is when you stop thinking of yourself as a child and you stop thinking about them as a parent and you see yourself as a person and them as people, a miraculous healing thing happens, and you find out more about who they are as people. They weren't, when they had you, they didn't know as much stuff as they might know now. That's why a lot of people do a better job with grandchildren, because they didn't get it the first time around. Or you have to understand that whatever age people are, and then as adults, and then they have children, it activates in them what was happening when they were that age. So we're all one big body, nothing's separate. So really pay attention to what is happening to you and what's activating you and what's going on around you, and know that you are not separate. We're all one big body of energy. We're all in this together. And the way to true happiness is to have that union from within. So again, in accordance with each person's free will and highest good, we ask the bodies to align, or we ask the illusion that they're not aligned to be healed. And we ask that anywhere, on any level, that there's that archetype of the saboteur. There's that archetype of shame, guilt, fear, all the dark stuff, anything that's keeping you having umbilical cords that are tying you to things that are dead, that are putrid, that are suffering, that are negative. We don't want to just cut the cords. We want them to be pulled up by the root. Once you just feel anything in your life that's not right or healthy in your garden that you plant, just pull it up by the root. We ask the Archangel Michael and all the beings of light here in our own selves to take responsibility. And we want to cut, they're pulled up by the root, but we want to cut the cords now. There's an amazing amount of heat. You might be sweating, there's an amazing amount of fiery energy moving through every cell of our beings. Piercing the heart, opening the wounds, healing the wounds. New life. I'm sending all of you so much unconditional love and healing energy, and namaste to everyone. And keep in this vibration of energy it's real. This is not something that has to be turned on and off. This is a real frequency. And it's something that is going to be easier and easier to stay in, and it's going to be harder and harder to stay in the disconnect. So again, have a wonderful, wonderful life and night and sweet dreams, and spread this energy everywhere. Thank you for tuning in. Namaste. So nice. Wonderful.
Bright love.